to her mate. Christ, this night couldn't end soon enough. "You're still very young, Alex," Eve said, returning to their previous topic. "And not at your full strength." I know. Alex waved a dismissive hand. "My sister and I have had this discussion more times than you can imagine. I'm only trying to protect you, Alex. Make sure you don't screw up and reveal yourself by accident, or get caught out here with a bunch of deads who might want to use you for target practice." God, it was ridiculous that she could quote Al verbatim by now. She sighed. "I understand, I do." Alex came to a stop and faced them. "I'm just so sick of being the proverbial damsel in distress." She rolled her eyes. "You have to understand, before all this happened, I had a life of my own and a career. I was an esthetician and had a nice job at a day spa back in Fairfield. I was an independent woman with hopes and dreams." She shook her head. "It boggles my mind how someone's life can be irrecoverably changed so quickly by one simple, seemingly innocent choice." "Believe me," Eve said, "I get where you're coming from." She stepped in and wrapped her arms around Alex, giving her a slight squeeze. "I really do." "I envy you," Alex whispered, fighting the sudden wave of melancholy threatening to drag her under. Eve pulled away, tucking a fallen strand of hair behind her ear. "I wouldn't wish my life, before Guerin and the Enclave, on anyone," she scoffed. "On the run and hidden from the world since the day I took my first breath. Why in the world would you envy me?" "Because you've made peace with what you are," Alex said. "You're strong and confident, and go after what you want without apologies." She could barely recall what it felt like to be comfortable in her own skin. "You have to remember how old I am, hun." Eve smiled, and the warmth spread to her eyes. She leaned in, her voice lowering. "Growing up, not quite human, yet not completely a vampire. At times it's been hell. But I've had 3 centuries to come to terms with what I am. But please don't share those numbers with my mate." She smirked. "I wouldn't want him getting the idea I'm an old woman." Laughter bubbled up from Alex. She couldn't help it. Eve had a way of making her feel better.
"Hey, old lady," Guerin called out. "We should probably be getting back."
"Watch it, Lombardi." Eve spun around and clasped her mate beneath his chin in a move no other male or female would dare attempt with the Enclave's second-in-command. Badass rolled off the 6-foot-plus vampire in waves. "Look who's calling whom old. I do believe you've got a few years on me." Guerin laughed. When it came to Eve, she seemed to get away with just about anything with him. They were so in sync, perfect together. A connection Alex couldn't imagine ever having with a man. The thought of allowing a male to get that close and under her skin. Memories of a dark-haired vampire with eyes the color of brewing storm clouds flashed across her mind's eye. Unbidden, the scent of chocolate and cinnamon invaded her nostrils, as if his flesh was once more pressed against hers, his essence filling her mouth, warming her veins. The hairs on her arms and legs stood on end, and her sex swelled to the point she literally ached with need. Markus. A tremor rolled over her. Alex's fists clenched, fighting her growing arousal. Closing her eyes, she willed the images to fade with every ounce of strength she could summon. "Alex, are you okay?" Eve's fingers wrapped around her arm, yanking Alex back into the present. Alex blinked. "Yeah, I'm fine." She did her best to laugh it off. "Just got lost in thought for a minute there." "That must have been some daydream." Eve grinned. "Where were you?" Swallowing hard at the lump of panic swelling at the back of her throat, Alex scrambled for something, anything, other than the truth about where her thoughts had gone. Because how was she supposed to reveal the fact that she'd been fantasizing about a male whom she...